folks, so now we'll go on a journey with travel enthusiast Shantell-Hill Afonso. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
She'll share with us some insights on her travel adventures. Welcome. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, Garth. Good morning.
Long time. And I realized,
konnichiwa.
Yeah,
Annyeonghaseyo.
So, like, it's funny because, like, I see you probably twice a year now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But most times when that's in person, but most times when I see you, you are on a plane, on a ship, on the high seas, in some foreign country. And most recently, you went to Asia.
The Far East.
Very specifically, Japan and Korea.
South Korea.
Well, yes. South Korea.
Yes.
Right? Where does love for travel come from?
Oh my God, I think I was born with this love. I started at about 13 years old. I started learning Spanish from first form. And with learning that, my professor was so amazing. I wanted to learn more about the culture, the food, the music, the entertainment. And so I ventured at 13 to Panama. Lonesome self.
What do you mean lonesome self?
Well, my professor came, but I was in charge of planning where I wanted to go. And my mom trusts me enough because I was already in third form by that time to say, hey, you can make a trip without us, without her or my dad. Yeah. So that was the start of it all.
Unaccompanied minor.
Unaccompanied minor. But you know what? It's been amazing. I have traveled as far as Australia.
Yeah.
I worked in Alaska, done a lot of Thailand,
right,
Papua New Guinea, Hong Kong, and it's been amazing just to go out and experience Japan because it's been a target for me. And recently, the last 5 years or so, after discovering this wonderful boy band BTS, Bangtan Suengdan, South Korea has been
K-pop, right?
yes. It's like magnets. You cannot resist it, right?
No, I can, but my daughter can. My daughter somehow.
Go Army.
My daughter definitely can't resist them at all. Awesome. But no, so let's really take a good, careful look at where you've been. Because we talk about, you just mentioned Australia, Thailand. There's Mexico. We mentioned Hong Kong.
Yes.
All across Europe, right? And what that brought you, right? New Zealand, Brazil, India, obviously the Caribbean.
Those are where I want to go next.
There we go. Good stuff. But so let's just kind of track back now to Japan and Korea, South Korea.
Yes.
The interest you mentioned just now, obviously BTS being a part of that draw to Korea.
Yeah.
But Japan has been a target for you, you say.
Yes.
It's not your first trip to Asia.
No.
But what was it about Japan that kind of captivated your interest?
I mean, I've always, so in the music industry where I was before becoming a marketing manager, I worked at Big Yard Music, and I had 2 Japanese co-workers in the music industry helping us out with Shaggy. So Yoichi and Aki. And they've always talked about how Japan loves Jamaica, how they love music, how they love reggae. And being a part of the industry, I've always seen our artists travel to Japan and the reception that they get. So I've always wanted to see this twin flame country to Jamaica. And trust me, Garth, when I went there, Japan has a population of over 25 million people. The structure, architecture, the society, how it's set up, there's no traffic. The system just being on time, being punctual, the food, the day, the nightlife, it was something after researching on TikTok, on Instagram, I was like, I have to go.
What's it like on the ground? Because sometimes you just mentioned Instagram and TikTok, and sometimes you see people talk about it like, yo, it's really not cool for black people here. But what is it like?
It is what you see.
In your experience.
It is what you see. And I must say that person's experience are relative. And I do understand, and it was something that I spoke about with some friends of mine, that the countries you go to, how you present yourselves also affects the way how you are treated. And it's also important for you to do adequate research to know where you're going, what it is that you're supposed to do. example we were talking about earlier, that, you know, it's kind of shunned if you play your music in the train. Nobody does that. Nobody's talking in the trains in Japan. Nobody's chewing gums in the train in Japan. So there's no garbage bins in Japan. You have to take your garbage or your trash wherever you go until you get back to your hotel or to your home. So learning and doing the research about the countries you go to will definitely impact how you are treated or persons behave towards you as a tourist.
Yeah, that's a huge cultural difference.
It is. It very much is.
Let's stick with some of those cultural comparisons, because how different, clearly, but what are some three of the big differences you noticed between Japan and Jamaica culturally and Korea and Jamaica?
Oh, wow. Okay, so Japan is very reserved. It's a very singular culture from my experience. And I mean, it might be due to the time that I went there as well. So it's a place where you go and you're eating alone versus Jamaica, where we eat with family and eat in groups and we're socializing loudly. Japan is very quiet. They almost speak at a lower tone, that it's almost a whisper.
Right.
It's about manners. It's about, and it's built into the language and culture where they address you based on your age or your class, and very respectful. Everybody, every time you do something, pass somebody, arigato gozaimasu, arigato gozaimasu. Jamaicans is a warm smile, but it's not a respect of that kind.
Right, it's different.
It's very different. Same with Korea. Right. Korea is more loud. They're more sociable. They like to drink. They like to eat. They hang out in groups. Literally, it's almost shunned if you go to a restaurant by yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Some restaurants actually do not serve you by yourself.
What?
Yes. So it's very different.
Yeah, that's huge. Now we're in the closing section of the interview, but one big thing I've got to ask is, how do you plan that trip? Like, for persons interested in going to Korea and or Japan, like, what do you need to do? I
must say, if it is that you're going to Japan as a Jamaican, you need to have a visa. That's the first thing, and you can apply for it. It's a very quick process. It literally takes a few days. Doesn't require you to give them your blood type, your parents' name, that kind of stuff. It's really good, but you have to, and I must say, you have to plan this in terms of your reservation, where you want to eat, what you want to see, at least a month in advance, or else you will not be able to do anything of the main iconic stuff, because it's just a lot of tourists in Japan.
The big question people screaming at the TV is, how much it going to cost me? What's a fair budget for a week?
Well, my husband and we spent 8 days in Japan, and we went to Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto.
Right.
And
big cities.
Big cities. Same in Korea. We did Seoul, we did Busan, and we went to Jeju, the island Jeju. And let's just say it's about 6,000 US to about 12,000 US, depending on your spending habits. We took 11 flights because we had to go to Madrid, Dubai, then to Japan, and then to Korea and back. So it can be a little bit costly, so you do need to plan. You do need to prepare a budget, but transportation is very economical in both countries. Food is very economical in both countries, but the shopping is so amazing, you might want to spend a lot.
All right, good. So plan, prepare, save.
Yes.
Budget. All right, good stuff. Thank you so much. I'm so happy
You're
that
welcome.
you went.
Thank you for having me.
And carry me next time. All right, that's travel enthusiast Shantel-Hill, Afonso. When we return, we get another performance from saxophonist Raheem Vassell. Stay with us and smile.